I'm right, you're wrong to being right or wrong doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about the solutions. Here's the action plan. Admittance is the fourth mode. That's where she is okay. She is no longer in a negative bias. She is in a neutral to positive bias. All right. And maybe a neutral bias about whatever the friction point is or whatever the argument's over. And maybe positive just about you in general. And that's a good place to be. Neutral about the friction point, but positive about your partner is the right mindset to solve a problem. And so now she has, provided you didn't pick some, you know, a-hole to be with, she has gratitude for you, appreciation for you, and appreciation for the relationship you guys have, as well as a focus on solving a problem. So her focus is on getting her needs met and problem solving, not attacking you, not so much on, she's not worried about being a good chimp versus a bad chimp anymore. She's not worried about getting you to concede so that she can feel better about herself and her needs getting met to calm her anxiety. Her anxiety is calmed enough now where we can solve a problem. Okay. And so this is, and as a guy, you will go through the same phases. You may show up differently with how you communicate it, but it's the same thing. All right. It transfers. It's 4 phases of transferring from I'm right, you're wrong to being right or wrong doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about the solutions. Here's the action plan. If she's, a healthy communicator with healthy attachments and she's been working on herself on this, she may come to the discussion at a phase 3 or 4, meaning she's calmed down enough. She's not going to do toxic arguing patterns to attack you, right? She's not just demanding your concession without any discussion. She's probably thinks she's right or she wouldn't bring it up, but she's open to the idea. And she's really would rather be focused on solutions to problems, Now, if she's healthy and she comes to you like this, how you handle this will be the difference between pushing her into attack defend or pushing forward into solving the problem and maintaining frame and not being devalued. Now, if she comes to the discussion and she's attack defend, or in the effective repair, but really she's either demanding your concession or she's outright attacking you and blowing up on you and all this stuff, you can't have a healthy discussion there. Okay. And this is where you have to say, hey, look, we can't have a discussion right now because emotions are too high. All right. There's a lot of attacking going on. I don't want to get into attacking you. Let's just take 10 minutes. Let's take a day. Let's take a few days, whatever. And that's what you do effectively, the soft next. So if she cannot come to a conversation in collaborative mode, at least, or preferably in admittance mode, which is, hey, let's solve the problem. And I'm willing to admit my role into why the problem exists, then, you need to soft next until she processes through those emotions and gets to that point. Now, a lot of you guys don't soft next properly. You do it like stonewalling from bad advice in books and on the internet. And so I'm going to advise against that. All right. Stonewalling isn't just removing your communication to manipulate the other person. Though that's what it is, and that's not what you want to do. A soft next is not stonewalling. A soft next is where there's an understood reason why you guys are taking this break in communication. And so she understands that I can't have this conversation with him unless I'm going to abide by the boundaries and that we have and the conditions of having a healthy conversation. See, you're simply setting the boundaries and conditions for productive and happy conversation with somebody that you care about. That's all that is. And you're not allowing her to have this discussion with you without maintaining those boundaries and conditions. In other words, there is no toxic arguing patterns and attacking and then being defensive. There is no crazy erratic emotions. She can have emotions and she can express them, but it's not about attacking you as a person. And if she can't feel that way, if her emotional control isn't there, then she needs to take a break from you until she can, and vice versa too. Okay. So that's how you manage the state in the climate that you're going to be in when you have a problem solving discussion. That's how you handle a conflict is you manage that state, right? Your own state as well as giving her the opportunity to manage hers and setting her up for success, right? And so when you go to bring something up or she brings something up and she's super pissed and it's this fight and you just bitching back and forth, you got to put yourself in a calm state and say, hey, look, I'm not gonna have you talk to me like that. All right, it's not respectful. You're upset, and you're gonna upset me, or we're both upset. Let's take a minute. We're gonna take some time because we're not doing this with you like this. If she's going to demand and demand and demand more conversation in a toxic fashion, you know what I mean? That soft next may become a hard next, which means like when you're not together, like what is she gonna do? Force you to stay? This is where things get into abuse, right? You're forcing someone to stay in a room with you, or or she blocks the door, or you block the door from her. Like you can't do these physically aggressive things. You have to have emotional and mental self-control enough and enough care and gratitude for your partner not to be this toxic person. Some of you guys, your relationships are just toxic and this is what you're used to, and the women you hook up with are toxic, and you know, this is what you tolerate. You know what I mean? And this is what's normal for you. Thanks, brother. And John MLD in the house. I'm number one. Hell yeah. Anyway, but at any rate, though, you know what I'm saying? That's not what you put up with. And so you got to get used to better in your mind, at least. You got to recognize that you deserve better and you want better. So you have to show up better and you have to enforce your boundaries and conditions to for her to show up better, not to show up and be this toxic force and to do attacking and defensive behavior and to list out demands and to make threats and to try to have power over the other person.